Captions are nothing more than just a little bit of text below a picture describing what that picture is about. If you've ever read a newspaper or looked through magazines, they'll have the picture there, and below it, it'll have something that says, hey, look at Billy, he's enjoying ice skating, and they'll have a picture of Billy ice skating. So that's what we're going to do in the document. Now, on the surface, this may sound really lame because you could actually say, look, I already know how to type in Word. I can just type some text below. But let me show you, if you do it Microsoft's way, inserting using their built-in caption feature, how self-automated this could be and how it can keep track and how you can actually cross-reference to that. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So first of all, to insert a caption, I need to find a picture or a table within my document, and I can just go ahead and scroll down and find the first picture and scroll to each picture. But I want to show you a shortcut here to make it worth your while here. So I'm going to scroll up to the top, and I want to browse by picture. And to do that, down in the lower right hand corner on the word frame here, you got this little button that says browse by object. Now by default, when I click on these up and down arrows, it'll go by page. So if I click down, it goes to the next page, down to the next page, and then up to the first page. But I can change it from page by clicking on that little dot and saying I want to browse by maybe, well, there's the default browse by page, and the arrows are black when you use the default, but you can browse by table if you have 3 or 4 tables within your documents. Maybe one's on page 5 and the other one's on page 50. Instead of scrolling through all that, you can just hit the browse button and go right to that table. But I want to browse by picture or by graphics. When I select that, 2 things. First of all, it takes me to the first picture within the document. As you can see right here, the dragon. The second thing is that it changes these arrows from the default black to blue to let me know that it's no longer the default browsing by page. When I click on these up or down arrows, when you hover over it, you can see that it says browse by graphic, either up or down. So I can click on the down arrow, go to the next graphic, click on the down arrow, and keep clicking. And when it doesn't go down any further, that means I've hit my last graphic within my document, which is on page 4 or 5 here. So now I'm ready to go ahead and insert some caption. Now again, you can come below the image or the table here and just, start typing away, and there's your caption. But again, I want to show you how helpful these captions when you use Microsoft's built-in caption feature can be. Click on the References tab here, and then come over to the Captions group, click on the Insert Caption button, and you get 3 choices. You can use the figure. You see in newspapers or magazines, you see figure 1 or table. You can see table here, table 1. I'm going to use figure, and then I'm going to type in the colon here. And since this is the first image, not within the document, but the first image that I'm going to add a caption to, it's going to add it as figure 1. And I'll show you later on how that will update when I add in other captions and other images throughout the document here. So there we go. Sales and CDs are way up in 2000 is my caption. When I'm finished, just go ahead and click OK. And then, of course, I want a little bit of space in between the two, so I can hit enter. And then also, to offset the caption from the text below, I could also select it. And you notice how I went out to the left-hand margin. When I go out far enough, my arrow turns in, so if I click, it automatically selects that line. Of course, you want to watch the training videos and setting up your document. I show you these little tips and secrets here. Or you can click and drag. Now, notice when I click and drag and I select the text to make changes to it, it highlights it, but it also highlights and gives it a deeper shade on the number. Now that's important because using Microsoft's default captions, if I insert any other captions within the document before this figure 1, it's going to automatically bump this down to figure 2 and so forth sequentially as they're ordered or appearing in my document. If they're up at the top, always the top one on the first page is going to be figure 1, and this one, if it's the only other one that has a caption, will automatically drop down to figure 2. So let me go ahead and right click on the selection, say instead of size 12 I'm going to type in 10 and hit enter. So it looks nice. It blends more with the picture above than actually the text below because it's a smaller font. Okay, let's go ahead and go up to our previous picture here by clicking on the previous graphic button to go up, and then we're going to insert a caption here. Come up to my Captions group, click on Insert Caption. Now, interesting, this says figure 1 also. Well, the moment I go ahead and type in my text here, you can see it's figure 1. It's going to automatically add this as figure 1 because it's appearing before the image down below, and that image or that caption is going to actually update to figure 2 automatically. Okay, and of course I can hit enter here, but let me go down to the previous graphic. So this is figure 1. The next one below that should automatically update to number 2 as it appears sequentially as I'm adding captions within the document. So even though I have a picture even above this, because I don't have a caption to it, it's not going to be numbered obviously by Microsoft as figure 1. So this is the first one that appears in the document that I actually added a caption to, so that's going to be figure 1, the first caption. And then down here, it's going to automatically update to figure 2, which makes it really nice because the automation is done for me. Now what I want to say is we're building on something here because, like I said, you could just as easily go ahead and type in the caption below and not use Microsoft's default here, and that's the first step. But if you want to go ahead and say, look, I'll use Microsoft's insert captions where it gives me the automated number, then the next step would be to actually have within your document somewhere a cross-reference that's linking to the figure, which is something you can't do. You could, but the automation when you're cross-referencing, so like for example in here I say see Fig 1. In the next training video called cross-referencing, I can actually take this and actually cross-reference. So not only does it say see Fig 1, which is not on this page, it's actually a couple of pages above. If people are reading the document, because it's cross-referenced, it'll actually link to that Fig 1. So when I click on this number right here, boom, it takes me right up to Fig 1, if that's how I want to set it up. So by itself, it may not be as helpful, you may not care to use it, but when you start building upon it, first using the caption, then secondly you want to go ahead and cross-reference to these captions, it makes it a lot easier, not only when people are reading the actual Word document here where they can click and take them right to the figure, even if you print this off, it makes it easier if you're working your document, making changes to it, to be able to edit and update these, which leads me, which is a good segue to how to update these. So for example, let's say I come in here and I go, I don't want figure 1 anymore. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. What happens to the picture down below that has a caption to it? Does it automatically update? No, it doesn't. I have to actually force it to update, and I can do that one of two ways. I can either right click and I get my little update field, right? When I left click, it updates it to figure 1. Let me undo that, because the problem you may run into is that if you have 50 pictures throughout your document with 50 captions that you use from Microsoft here, that you need to update all of them. Well, to update all of them really quickly, go ahead and hit Control A, so it selects your whole document, and then hit F9 on the keyboard. And then once you hit F9 on the keyboard, it automatically updates everything sequentially, renumbers them as it were. So if you delete captions, Microsoft Captions here where it's figure 1 or table 1, it'll automatically reorder everything. So whichever is the first picture that has the first caption in your document is going to be now figure 1, and everything else below it will update sequentially 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all the way down to however many pictures you have with captions on them. Okay, so if you want to go to the next level and build upon this caption here where you actually type in some text down here like I just showed you, see figure 1, you click on it and it actually takes you to figure 1 as a link. At the very least, even if you print this off, you can automatically update it. So when it says if you're deleting figures and you're deleting cross-references or captions, you can have it all automatically update it for you instead of coming down here and saying, let's see, I deleted figure 1. Well, see, that one was figure 1, this one's supposed to be figure 2, so I also need to delete this as well. Have it automated. It's a great segue because here it is, cross-reference button, and you're going to have to go to the next training video to learn how to do that. So I'll see you in a few seconds. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel, get notified of the latest videos, and for only $2 a month, you can have access to all my Microsoft Office training videos.